All right, so today we're diving into something pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah.
It's the SAP Certified Associate, SAP Generative AI Developer Certification.
Okay.
So we've got a bunch of information on this exam, right?
Right.
Our kind of our mission today is to try and give you, the listener, a really concise explanation of what it's all about.
Yes, exactly.
Figure out if this certification is even relevant to you.
Right.
Before you even go down the rabbit hole of like trying to learn all the nitty-gritty details.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So we're giving you the shortcut, the SparkNotes version, if you will.
Yeah, and just so you know, it's C_AIG_2412 if you want to write that down.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah. So we've been through all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we've kind of pulled out what we think are the core, the most important things for you to know.
Yeah, so let's just start with the basics.
Okay.
We've got the SAP Certified Associate, SAP Generative AI Developer exam.
Okay.
The code is CIG24212, right? There are 60 questions. You get 2 hours to take it, and you need a 65% to pass.
All right, good chunk of information to get through in 2 hours.
Yeah, it's not a super long exam.
No.
But there's a lot of interesting stuff packed in there.
Absolutely.
And I think one thing that I found particularly noteworthy is this idea of continuous certification.
Okay.
So your certification is valid for 12 months.
Okay.
But if you successfully complete an assessment during that time, they add on another 12 months.
Interesting.
So you don't
just lose it.
You just lose it.
Yeah.
After 12 months, you just kind of it keeps going.
As long as you prove you're keeping up with everything.
Yeah, prove that you're staying up to date on all of the latest trends and things like that.
Right, because obviously things are moving so quickly in AI.
Right.
That staying current isn't a luxury, it's a necessity.
Yeah. So it seems like SAP is really leaning into that idea with this.
They are, yeah.
With this particular certification.
And they'll even send you reminders to make sure that you are
that's nice.
Going through those assessments and keeping your skills sharp.
So what are some of the things you need to know for this exam?
Yeah, so we've got the largest section actually is SAP's Generative AI Hub.
Okay. That
makes up 31 to 40% of the exam.
Wow. So that's a
huge chunk.
That's a huge chunk.
So if you're looking at the certification, you really want to make sure you understand how to use that.
Okay.
And then coming in kind of tied for second, we have large language models, which is 21 to 30% of the exam. Okay. And then also SAP AI Core, which is also 21 to 30% of the exam.
So those are all pretty significant areas of focus.
They're all big.
Okay.
Large language models, this is the AI systems trained on massive amounts of text data.
Right.
So that they can understand and generate human-like text. So this is, if you're going to be working in AI, these are kind of the foundation.
The core building blocks.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And then SAP AI Core is basically a platform for building and deploying AI models within SAP's ecosystem.
Okay.
So that's kind of like your workbench where you're going to be doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then the last section is SAP Business AI.
Okay.
Which is 11 to 20% of the exam.
So is that kind of like the practical application of of these different tools?
So that's where they take all the technical stuff
and
they connect it to real world business applications within SAP.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So
this is kind of, this is where the rubber meets the road.
Right.
You're actually using these tools to solve business problems.
So to sum it up, the SAP Generative AI Developer Certification is all about using generative AI within the SAP environment.
Exactly.
You need to have a solid understanding of large language models. And you need to know how to use SAP's AI tools.
Yeah.
Like AI Core and the Generative AI Hub.
That's right.
And is all about actually applying those technologies.
Yes, it's not enough to just know the definitions.
Right.
You've got to be able to use them in the real world.
And it's not a one and done type of thing.
No, definitely not.
You got to stay current. You got to keep learning.
Keep improving. Exactly. Yeah. Right. So it's a journey, not a destination.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I guess one last question for our listeners to kind of ponder as they're thinking about all this.
Yeah.
We've talked about how fast AI is evolving, right? Mm-hmm. And how important it is to continuously learn and stay up to date.
Right.
So what do you think?
What
new capabilities do you foresee becoming like absolutely vital for developers?
Yeah.
working in these enterprise environments in the next year or two? Like
Yeah.
what's on the horizon that we need to be prepared for?
That's a great question. And I think it's something that everyone listening should be thinking about as well.
Yeah, it's food for thought.
Yeah, definitely food for thought.
All right, well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
and we'll see you next time.
See ya.